What if that very trait that made you a brilliant engineer is actually secretly destroying your career? I see this over and over again with engineers, project managers, and STEM leaders. You're smart, you're quick, you're logical, and yet you're stuck. Passed over for promotions, your ideas aren't landing. Other people, less talented than you, are moving ahead. This is the hidden career killer of engineers. And I want to share a little story with you. Alex was a program manager, brilliant guy. He processed information fast. He thought in systems and he could solve problems quicker than almost anyone on his team. But the problem? When he spoke, he over detailed. He drowned people in logic. And when his team or peers didn't get it as quickly as he did, he got frustrated. Late nights, reworking presentations, peers avoiding eye contact in meetings, and the real sting? He watched colleagues with less technical expertise leapfrog into leadership roles. And he kept thinking, why can nobody keep up with what it is that I'm saying? And then the feedback came. Leadership told him directly, until you improve your communication skills, you're not moving up the corporate ladder. Ouch. That hit him hard. Because his dream was to step into a director and move into a VP role. But his brilliance wasn't enough. So Alex actually came to me, and the first thing that I discovered when coaching him was his need to communicate through logic. And what I shared with him is that only 25% of the people naturally speak logic first, which means if you're doing it all from a logic perspective, 3/4 of the people in the room aren't really hearing you. That stopped him cold. His immediate reaction was, but I'm right. Why should I change the way I communicate? And I get it. Every engineer I know, even myself at times, thinks in facts are correct. And that should be enough to get people to move. But here's the reality. Facts actually very rarely move people. Influence does. I explained engineers are trained to lean on logic, but executives are promoted for their ability to influence the masses. And influence means speaking in a way that others can actually absorb, that cause people to move forward, to take action, and really be part of the team. So I introduced him to a simple framework: decode people around you in the way they communicate. You will find that some people lead with facts, some lead with emotions, values, some with like joking and energy, and others need time to reflect and then take direct action. And the secret is, when you learn to adapt, your message lands every time. So we work together on these 3 steps. Step 1 is awareness. Alex had to see that his greatest strength had also become his blind spot. His quick thinking and logic were powerful, but they were keeping him stuck. And here's something I want you to hear. When we are stressed, we actually default to that one style, the one that feels safest. And for Alex, that was pure logic. But when relaxed and confident, we have this ability to flex to multiple styles naturally. So learning this wasn't about changing Alex who he was. It was about giving him awareness to stop defaulting under stress. Step 2 was decoding. So now that we understood how Alex spoke, this is where things really started to click for him. Alex started to begin to pay attention to how other leaders communicated around him. Not just with words, but with their tone, with their pace, with their priorities. And he realized, oh, this VP always starts with people impact. This director always does things from action and movement. This manager takes time to reflect and pause before setting the pace. And so once Alex became aware of this, he started to be able to use his logical brain and appreciate that this was a process, kind of like debugging a system. Input pattern equals output. Logic made sense to him. Step 3 is where the bigger challenge comes in. And this is actually learning to practice adapting while maintaining your stress level. So once Alex could decode, he started to begin to adjust the way he spoke. And when he spoke to a leader who was people focused first, he talked about the impact on their team, not just the process. When he was talking to a leader who was reflective, he spoke more of timelines and giving space for that leader to reflect and think and not need a response in the moment. When he spoke to a leader who was very opinion and value driven, he spoke about purpose and mission. And when he learned to do this, he also realized he could lean into those timelines and those clear steps by understanding people first. Now, at first, it felt strange, but then as he started to get into a natural rhythm of it, it started to feel more natural because he wasn't faking anything. He was simply expanding how he expressed what he already knew. And here's the magic. Suddenly, his meetings were smoother. His peers stopped resisting, and leadership started to pay attention. Within months, Alex landed that director's role. And here's the deal. It doesn't just stop with Alex. Recently, I was chatting with another engineering manager who was hitting this constant pushback. One of his coworkers was saying no to allowing him to use his team or get some work done. And every time my friend was having this conversation, he, of course, was laying it out, as engineers do, with logic, timelines, and structure. But this person, he was completely a people person and emotion driven. And once I explained this theory to him, the light bulb went off. And for the first time, he got buy-in. And that's when he told me, Izzy, it feels like magic. It feels like I've cracked the code on people. Too often, engineers think that their brilliance and logic will carry them. But here's the truth. Logic only reaches about 25% of the audience you need to influence. If you want promotions, if you want to get your ideas heard, if you want to lead at the highest level, you must start engineering better conversations. And here's the best part. This isn't about being fluffy. It isn't about being heart emotional centered. It's about becoming someone that you naturally are. And it is a logical process. It's a process that works really well for engineers, scientists, project managers. And you can learn this the same way you learn any other system. Alex went from being the smartest person in the room to being the leader that people wanted to follow. And you can do the same. So if you ever feel stuck, overlooked, frustrated, that logic alone isn't working, it's not your talent that is a problem. It's actually your communication. And the good news is you can change it. So I invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. Join me in my free next masterclass on engineering better communications because your career could change faster than you think.